Hello, everybody. Welcome into a Friday edition of the Computer America Show. We got a great program planned for you. In the second hour, we're going to be talking to Passwork. Simplifies and streamlines work with passwords in a business. Very interesting. We're going to have Ilya Garak joining us, the founder and CTO of Passwork, in the second hour. And in the first hour, we're going to be talking to Crowdsite.
1 minute until showtime.
They're billing themselves as the world's fastest crowdsourcing site. Rul Maslik is here to talk about that as well. So sit back, relax, enjoy the 2-hour show coming at you. Oh, we also have our social media winner of the week. That's all coming up here on Computer America. Fifteen seconds.
Your show will go live in 5 seconds. 4, 3, 2, 1.
Broadcasting live, it's America's longest-running national radio talk show on computers, Computer America, hosted by national columnist Craig Crossman. Look for Craig's weekly column in your favorite newspaper. This show is being beamed nationwide at ComputerAmerica.com. Keep it here for technology news, computer products, guest interviews, and your phone calls. You're listening to Computer America.
Hello and welcome into the Computer America Show. It's the nation's longest-running, nationally syndicated radio talk show on computers. Computer America is heard around the world and coast to coast. And I'm your host, Craig Crossman.
And I'm your co-host, Ben.
And it's Friday! Yeah, another week of broadcasting excellence in the can.
Yeah, just the can.
Exactly. And, well, we got a great program planned for you today in our 3 to 5 p.m. Eastern Time, Monday through Friday time slot now. And we have, let's see, in the second hour, we're going to be talking to Passwork. This is a company that allows you to, well,
manage passwords for, yeah. But it's a bit more aimed at businesses and things like that. So maybe not personal, but definitely if you're an IT manager or something along those lines, this will be the thing for you.
Right. And then in the first hour, we're going to be talking to Crowdsite, which is billing themselves as the world's fastest crowdsourcing site. So, we're going to be doing that as well. Now, if you have a comment or a question or for our guests, we'd love to hear from you. Give us a call at 347-884-8881. That's 347-884-8881. I'll get you through. If you're radio shy and you don't want to go on the air, just give us go to any page at ComputerAmerica.com. On the upper right-hand corner, you'll see it says submit a question. Just click that, and you will get our question submission page. Type in your question. Click the submit button, and Ben and I will see it instantly, and we can pose your question to our guests. It's just that simple. The other thing you can do as well is head over to our website again, ComputerAmerica.com, which is the internet home of our radio broadcast, and you can watch the show there. That's right. We have live streaming video available to you. So all you have to do is go click on our show lounge selection. Again, it's on any page. It's one of the pull-down menus. It's a show lounge, and our video streaming will begin immediately. You can see everything, and not only can you see myself, you can see Ben. Usually you can see our guests, which you can do in this hour, and also Ben has the technology to display websites, videos, movies, all the good stuff, and then you can see that and you can watch it. Just enriches your listening experience to Computer America. So it's not mandatory, but we certainly would like you to do it and take advantage of all those things. In addition, you at Computer America, you can see all the other places where you can listen to the show, archives of the show. It's all there. We're on Stitcher, SoundCloud, Apple's iTunes. It's all there and available to you at any time at computeramerica.com. Let's see. The other thing that I want to mention is that as I said, it's Friday. That means we're going to have our social media winner of the week. Someone's going to be winning that Logitech Anywhere MX2 cordless mouse. Beautiful mouse, valued at $80. Some lucky person will be announcing their name as well. I think I'm forgetting something. What else am I forgetting, Ben?
No. Check out the archives. Check us out on SoundCloud, Stitcher, all those good places.
Okay. I got to watch the Star Wars trailer, by the way. It was very, very good.
Oh, I'm glad you were able to work 2 minutes into the last 4 days. That's very nice.
Kept forgetting it, but there it is. So I watched the Star Wars trailer. Okay. So that said, let's get to it. Our guest for the first hour is a company called Crowdsite, and they bill themselves as the world's fastest crowdsourcing site. So at Crowdsite, you can find the best freelancer in just 140 characters. Now here with us is the CEO of Crowdsite, Roel Maaslink. Roel, welcome into Computer America. How are you?
Hello, Craig. Thank you for having me.
Our pleasure. Where are you located? What part of the globe are you in?
I'm currently in the Netherlands. Our headquarters is here. So.
Now, what time is it right there?
It's 9 p.m. in the evening.
Okay.
So
not too late. Not too bad. All right. Unless you're not a night owl, that's not so bad. And we appreciate you being here with us here, Roel. Now, you heard my introduction. Just 140 characters. Why don't you talk a little bit about what crowdsourcing is and what Crowdsite actually does to our listeners?
Okay, crowdsourcing is matching basically two parties. In our case, it's matching entrepreneurs with freelancers, and we have thought about it. How could we create a quick match? Because if you need a freelance, you want a freelance fast, but you don't want any freelance. You just want the best freelancer. So we thought up on a concept where you can very quickly describe your job in 140 characters, and then post it to the site, and we have an algorithm that matches you with the best freelancers available at that time. So it's very quick. It's very it's real time. So it's a pretty cool thing. It's something nobody did before. So
right. Ben Aim.
Well, right. Well, just the immediate reaction is, of course, very, very quick. That's nice, but 140 characters, we've seen that before. That's, of course, Twitter's trademark. Or not trademark, but that's what Twitter does. 140 characters to a message, and you're off to the races. Did you do it in the style of Twitter, because that's kind of what people are used to nowadays?
Yes, Twitter was a bit of inspiring for us, because Twitter allows you, and you have to be very specific. At Twitter, you only have 140 characters, and you need to create a short message that can be read very quick by other users, and you have to get your message done in those 140 characters. So you have to create a good message, and that's why a short message is most better than a long project description or something that you have to read, and after you read it and you made a price or something on it, you made a bid, and then most of the time it will change after all. So it has no sense to create a long project description.
Right. Yeah, and that makes complete sense. And of course, the whole thing will obviously not be done only in 140 characters. Like I'm sure once you make contact with a freelancer that you like to work with or a business that you like to work with, is there some kind of in-app communication done, like instant messaging or email? Just something that you can write longer messages to?
Yes, the first 130 characters is meant to match you with skills and match you with the best freelancers, and then we provide a live chat on the website, so you can chat directly with the freelancer, direct from the beginning, and just discuss with the freelancer what do you want, how do you work, and get to know each other. And if you know the freelance, you have a good feeling about him or her, then you can invite him or her to your project and make a deal.
Makes complete sense. And I'm sure some of this kind of wraps up into the next question, being this isn't the first crowdsourcing crowdsourcing site. Like there are others out there that people know. They pop up here and there. How is yours different? Is it simply the finding? It's so quick because of the 140 characters. What makes Crowdsite stand out?
Yeah, that's a good question because of course, yeah, there are a lot of freelancer sites. If you, for instance, take freelance.com, it's very based on price. It's the cheapest bid will pop up first most of the time, and at our site it's not based on price in the beginning, but it's based on the best freelancer. Find someone who fits your needs. You can specify skills in your shout, and we'll match on those skills, and we'll match on those freelancers. Those are available at that time. So it's more like the match of the freelance is our focus, and not so much the price of the freelance. Because if you have a good feeling about a freelancer, the price you always find the right price
Right.
with each other. So
Right. Yeah. The price is definitely important, and I'm glad that that, though it shouldn't be the most important thing, because people can lowball you all day, but I've had some experience with other sites, and yes, the cheapest ones come up, but often they're cheap at first, but then they say, oh, but for that you need to add this and this. Like they're more interested in getting the initial contract than they are actually fulfilling a contract, and
Exactly.
that's something that I really feel is an issue with a lot of these other sites. So with these, now it has to be more than just create a username and start bidding. Finding the best freelancer to do jobs. Do you start building up a profile as you use the site, or is it you have to have other people review you? Are there profiles in this?
Yes, if the freelancer creates an account at our website, of course we ask what did they do, and what kind of skills do they have, and once they start doing projects on our website, they will get reviews from customers, and also based on those reviews, we will rate the freelancer, and we have about 30 points that we use to match a good freelancer with a good company, of make the best match. So it's not only the amount of projects you did, but
Right.
it's also things like when you're online, what kind of skills do you have, and where are you located.
So there's a sort of secret formula or recipe about Crowdsite's matching algorithm that you do, and these are some of the points that you actually do, because it's an automated process. It's not a person doing it. This is an algorithm that's doing this matching, correct?
Yes, that's correct. Yes.
So some of these, so there are about 30 different points that your algorithm takes a look at to come up with the best possible.
Starting to sound a little bit like a dating site. I'll be honest with you.
Yeah, it's a bit of a dating site between a freelance and an entrepreneur or company or something. It's especially for interesting for very small businesses who need business-to-business services. So it's kind of a dating site.
Yeah, it makes sense. So now, just as a side here, I know you're a pretty young guy here. How did you to be a founder of this company? How did you get a start doing all of this?
And how old are you?
I'm almost 30, so I'm 29 at the moment. I'll turn 30 in about two months or something.
Well,
so
pre-happy birthday to you.
Thank you. It all started 5 years ago in the Netherlands. I was working for a design agency, and they asked me if, hey, Roel, I was the technical guy and I could create websites, and I love something about design, so those design agencies came to me and asked me to create that. They made a design for the website, and I had to create the website, the technical part. So it started there, and I thought, hey, all those commissions from those agencies, they are very high. They have to pay account managers, they have to pay salespersons, they have to pay big buildings. So I thought there should be a more simple way, and at that point the design contest just started to become popular on the internet, and I started ontwerpenvoorgeld.nl. It's a typical Dutch name, but it quickly became a market leader in the Netherlands, and 2 years later we started also doing design contests in Germany and yeah, all across the world.
So let me ask you this: are there any benefits of having Dutch roots for this type of a project? I mean, are there any geographical benefits?
Tax breaks.
Basically, we're a global company now, but I think there are some benefits in having a Dutch roots. Throughout history, Dutch people has been known as traders, and yeah, it's maybe something like a dating site, but it's mostly a trading site, because all we do is create a match between person A and person B. So I think that the trading is in our blood, and that's basically what we're doing, but then in a new kind of way online.
Right. Well, let me ask you.
That's something that I think, because we're Computer America, we have a large American audience, but that's something that really Americans, they don't really have. Like a lot of countries over there in Europe, you have histories going back 2,000 years. It's some serious history. With America, yay America, we love you, but we only have 250 years behind us. It's not that much history, so we just so we're kind of still making our own way. But I guess having that identity as traders, and really trying to be the best traders out there, really, even when it comes to websites, that speaks for something.
Yes, and when we say trader, it's TRAD.
Yeah, trader.
Exactly.
Yes, exactly. You have to spell it right. Yes.
Spell it right. Let me ask you this. I'm looking at your website, and some interesting statistics here. It says that you have a 97% success rate. So does that mean that people who are looking for work, 97% of them are finding work? Is that what you mean?
It's a success rate of our projects once somebody plays the design contest or creates a project with a freelancer. 97% of those projects will actually get paid and get finished on a good way. So, and no other site is displaying their success rate, and we are proud of a 97% success rate, and I believe most of the freelancer sites has a success rate below 30%. So, and that's because our unique matching algorithm that we have such a high percentage.
Wow, it's very good, and almost $4 million paid out to this. So that is a terrific. And this is in what kind of time frame? How long has this been up and running now?
That's basically in the last 3 years.
Last 3 years, okay. So this is proving to be a successful venue. Now for people who want to join, I assume if you're a freelancer, you have to join Crowdsite. Is there a fee, or is there a process of joining for Crowdsite?
No, we chose to be an open platform, so everybody has to have the chance to prove him or herself, and it's our job to create the best match, and it's the freelancer's job to create the best profile and create marketing themselves. So there's no fee or something in there. We just want to be the best platform of matching freelancers, and a lot of our other sites, they have subscriptions and stuff, and there you can buy your spot in the spotlights. So we don't do all those things. We just want to have a website, good matching, and our business model is based on the projects that are paid on the website, and we have our commission there.
So I was going to ask you, so Roel, how do you make money then? If you're not charging people to do it, you make a commission off of the job. Is that how that works?
Yes, we have 10% commission on a job, so you can do any kind of job at our website. Our focus is business to business at this moment, but you can do a little job like make me a business card or design me a business card to create me a full working WordPress website with some custom programming on it. So it's very broad what kind of projects can be done.
Yeah, I see you have popular service. You have like design, for graphic logo designs. Writing is another one. You have some mobile app developers, website development, SEO marketing, and 3D modeling. Excuse me, seem to be the 6 most popular services that you offer. But of course, you have a lot more. Are these most popular because those are the types of freelancers that your website is attracting, or how did you come up with these different categories?
Yeah, that's what we get the most feedback on customers who need those services, and our roots is lying in design, so a lot of jobs are related to design at this moment, but it's quickly changing because a lot of developers already joined on our website, and a lot of designers. The most are designers now, but especially the last 2 months, a lot of developers a lot of developer jobs were posted and posted with great success.
Okay.
Well, yeah, and one thing that I want to ask was these all these jobs that they're getting done, is the payment handled in Crowdsite? Like is that do you do it through an in-app service, or does payment happen, behind a building in a dark alley with paper bags? Like how is the payment handled?
No, I don't think our our government would like the last one.
Right.
Yeah, we offer all popular payment methods like credit card and PayPal and also some country-specific payment methods. In the Netherlands, we use a payment method called Ideal. So we try to provide local payment methods in all the countries we've got customers.
Okay. So let's talk a little bit more about how the future of everything. Obviously, things look to be going well. In your opinion, how does the future of online freelancing look?
Because and before this service, it was either you had to know a guy who knew a guy who knew a friend that could do work for you, or you had to go to these really big design firms, and they made pictures for you, they did everything for you, but like you said when you first started, they charged an arm and a leg because hey, they were bloated. They have, and they still are, they still have a lot of employees to pay around them. So I mean, how do you see this whole thing going?
Yeah, it's Google has proven that it's all about search in these times. So we put a lot of effort in creating a freelancer search engine and matching algorithm that do basically real-time matching. So the future will be more real-time stuff, like just see real-time who's available to do a job for you and who's most capable to job for you. We are creating things like blast your shout. You can start a shout, and we can, based on your skills, do a real-time Facebook ad. We can create a Facebook app through an API, and if we don't have to freelance in-house, we can find it on Facebook for you. Those kind of things we can help you with in the near future.
Yeah, that sounds really awesome. Taking the search beyond the site is going to be a great service. That hey, not one site's going to have everything. There are, there is fragmentation in the market. So being able to search everyone, and really at the end of the day, I guess a lot of users, they may go to one site or another, but at the end of the day, I would think that a lot of consumers just want their project done. Like, yeah, they may have chosen Crowdsite, but they chose a site to find the best match. So if you can't find it there, it's nice to hear that you're going to be able to kind of go elsewhere and match them up. Just find the right person.
Yeah, that's our goal. That's the goal of a freelancing site, and it's nice. We've got some things going on with. Currently, we're looking for partners, but we want to add our services not only to our site, but to all other sites who want to create their own mini marketplace for freelancing services. They could use our services. So we want to expand our marketplace not only to our site, but also to sites of of other people. So it's if we talk about the future of Crowdsite, it will be a more cross-website platform than only one static site to post a job, because it's all about finding the right freelancer, and you can not only do it through a website, but you can do it through an app, and through Facebook, through Twitter. There are a lot of social media platforms where you can find the freelancer, and we all want to bring it together in 140 characters on our site, so freelancers can quickly read all the jobs and say to the jobs, I'm free and I'm interested in this and this and this, but not in this, and go on with their work, and they have to spend less time on marketing themselves.
Well, I'll tell you what. I've got a number of questions I still want to ask you, but we're at the bottom of the hour break. Okay, so Roel, I'm going to ask you to just stand by, and we're going to do some commercial messages, and then we'll continue on. Okay?
Yes.
All right. You're listening to the Computer America Show. Ben and I are talking to the CEO of Crowdsite. Bill is the world's fastest crowdsourcing site. If you have a talent of some sort and you'd like to find work, you might want to check out Crowdsite. We're going to take a break. We have our social media winner of the week coming up the next hour. We also have a News Tispel review from Marty Winston. That's all coming up. You listen to the Computer America Show. We will be right back, I promise.
Sometimes disaster strikes. Data can be lost due to many different reasons. Accidental reformatting, power spikes, virus attacks. Zero Assumption Recovery provides a suite of highly effective and thorough data recovery software for Windows operating systems. ZA is suitable for home users and small businesses who need a powerful data recovery solution for Windows and Linux file systems.
Go to z-a-recovery.com.
Sometimes disaster strikes. Data can be lost due to many different reasons. Accidental reformatting, power spikes, virus attacks. Zero Assumption Recovery provides a suite of highly effective and thorough data recovery software for Windows operating systems. ZA is suitable for home users and small businesses who need a powerful data recovery solution for Windows and Linux file systems.
Go to z-a-recovery.com.
Hi, this is Craig Crossman, host of the Computer America Show. You have important meetings to schedule. Your company's getting ready for its IPO, and you're in charge of the PTA fundraiser this month. So how do you coordinate everyone to be available at the same time? Are you still using emails, phone calls, even text messages to schedule meetings with a group of people? How's that working out for you? That's so great, huh? It's a fact that every day, millions of people suffer from scheduling headaches. Well, with Doodle, scheduling meetings with a group of people is quick and easy. With Doodle, you can easily propose available times to each member. Each one checks off the times that they're available, and then you simply pick the time that works best for the group, all in an easy-to-read display that integrates with your existing calendar. Nothing could be more simple. Give Doodle a try for free, and like millions of Doodle users, you'll truly see how easy it is to find the perfect date and time for all your meetings. That's www.doodle.com.
Relax, it's not that kind of a raid.
Hi, Marty Winston with the News Tips Bulletin Review for Computer America. This time, the LSI Mega RAID SAS 9361 8i RAID controller card. It's a PCIe version 3 8X card that can connect as many as 8 SAS drives at up to 12 gig per second. 6 of our 8 are connected in a RAID 6 array, meaning 4 times the capacity of any one drive and 2 redundant drives. If 1 or 2 drives fails, the whole thing just keeps going and can rebuild. A 7th drive in the array is a hot spare and can come in if one actually is unusable. The 8th drive is an SSD, and LSI Cachecade software turns that into a front-end cache to speed up the entire array. Bottom line, the LSI Mega RAID SAS 9361 8i controller gives us our biggest, fastest, and safest storage all off the shelf. Marty Winston with the News Tips Bulletin Review for Computer America.
Welcome back to the Computer America Show. Here in the first hour, we are talking to Crowdsite, or more specifically, Roll is here with us, and he is the CEO, founder of this great site where we're talking about how if you need something done, or if you're someone who's looking for something to do in terms of companies and design and things like that, this could be the site for you. And of course, we're having a great conversation, but just kind of thinking about the word freelancer, it's a word that's starting to pop up more and more because I think it's getting more acceptable as time goes on. Of course, we're not talking about the medieval historical definition where guy on a horse will fight for whoever pays him, but it kind of is that where hey, pay me money and I'll do something for you. No, almost no strings attached. Is freelancer another word for entrepreneur at this point? Is it a good, bad term? What do you think of the word freelancer?
Yeah, I think the word freelance it's a bit outdated, because the word itself it says hey I'm a freelancer, I'm doing things for free, and that's just not how the world works these days.
How about
So,
freelancer?
freelance, yeah.
Not bad.
And you can make it a low freelancer and high freelancer.
High freelancer, exactly.
I think a better word would be crowd worker. You're working in a crowd these days, and it's becoming a real job. And freelance has some negative about it, and it's a thing I don't like, because if you're a freelance or crowd work, I like crowd workers more, but freelance is more mainstream now. If you're a freelancer, you have to make money, and of course you are an entrepreneur because you're working for yourself. You are creating your own money. You're creating your own and get your own bread on the table. But the word freelance should be crowd work, and we are working on it to make a change in the next few years.
I think also Ben made a point too. When you're a freelancer, if I hire a freelancer, I don't pay their taxes. I just give them the full amount, and it's up to them.
Yes.
I don't have to fill out a W-9 for them or anything. I just say, here's the money, and then it's up to them to pay. So
Yeah, to pay or not to pay.
exactly. Well,
We recommend paying. It's very convenient to not be in prison.
exactly.
But you see that freelancers are more and more mainstream these days, and big teams are out of it's
Going out of style.
Yeah, in the older days, you had big design teams, big developer teams, and now you see teams are getting very small, and also the tasks are very small. At least in the Netherlands, our government likes to create big teams with developers and doing things like develop a government website for a lot of money and fail over and over again. And we see like websites like Booking.com, they have very small teams, very small tasks for very specific people, and that's exactly what Crowdsite can do. Crowdsite can find that specific person for you to do this little task, and then work on with the next little task. And if you do a lot of little tasks with the right persons, you're creating a big task in a small amount of time and cost effectively. So that's the future of crowd working.
I think that makes a lot of sense. And let me ask you this: you joined Google Startup, the Google Startup program. Tell us a little bit about that. and why and how you got involved with that.
Yeah, at the time the first visitors overseas came to our website, we started thinking about we need an environment that's more global than our server in the Netherlands. So we decided to use the Google App Engine. It's an hosting. It's a place you can put your website on, and it will be quick globally, and it has, for instance, for storage of all our designs and movies and images. It has a global CDN, content delivery network, so it was suitable for us to place the website, to get a quick website worldwide. So at that point, I came in touch with Google and some employees of Google in the Netherlands, and they said, "Hey, we've got startup programs, and you could join them." And I applied for those programs, and I talked to Google headquarters in the United States a few months back, and they really liked this idea of shouts and going to third parties with bringing those shouts to other websites and all those things. What's going to be happening? So they decided to put us in the top tier of their launchpad program, and yeah,
Cool.
it really helps us getting some traction also in the United States.
Good. All right.
That sounds like a really great honor. It's I'm glad that they saw you guys, as something worth investing in.
Yeah, it's just credits for their services. Basically, we're hosting our website for free there now, but it's if we get 1 million visitors tomorrow, our website will be able to handle them, and that's because App Engine has the ability to scale at very fast, at very large.
Sure. No, it makes a lot of sense. Okay, so if people want more information, they can just go to the website, which is Crowdsite, CROWDSITE.com. Let me just ask you quickly. Now, can you live anywhere? I mean, this is a global website. It doesn't matter whether.
Yeah, I was looking through your different freelancers, and Italy, Germany, France, Netherlands. Like, you got people all over Europe, and I'm sure the U.S.
Yeah, our mainstream freelance is still from Europe now. About 70% of our freelancers are from Europe, and I think that's another difference between our website and most of the other freelancers are based in Australia. The roots and because if you facing or looking for a more European way to do things, I think Crowdsite has more benefits than any other site. So, and I believe we are one of the few crowdsourcing websites from Europe. So it's a different taste. So.
Yeah, but I mean, obviously, if I'm here in the U.S. and I want to hire a freelancer on Crowdsite, and that person is in Europe, they don't have to be physically here for the most part. A lot of the work that they're doing, you write me a good press release or do some coding for me. They don't have to be at the physical location. They can do all this site. That's the wonderfulness of the internet. I guess the only other thing is that you want to make sure that they speak your language, obviously, clearly. It's important to communicate with.
Skype, don't worry about that. Skype has you covered.
Well, Skype has translate. Yeah, but something might get lost in translation. I think if you speak English, you're probably going to want to hire somebody who speaks English fairly well if they're developing or doing things for your business. Would you agree, or are there any problems that are inherent in hiring people who are overseas and might not speak the language clearly?
I don't think anymore. In the past, you had to speak the language, but we even got the freelancers that don't speak any word of English, and they have English customers because they hitting the Google Translate all day. So no, and all those tools to translate is getting better and better. So I don't think it's necessary to.
Well,
Um,
maybe, but I think if I want someone to write a really good press release for me, I'm probably going to want them to write it in English. If I'm
Oh yeah, if you want a press release in the Netherlands or Germany or not a European country, you should do it in Crowdsite. But a press release is something you want a native to write. So
Right.
Right.
you can specify a location in our shout, and we'll search someone in your neighborhood who can write a press release. That's no problem at all.
Excellent. Well, Roel, I think let me just say last thing. What is the difference between project contests and design contests that you have up on the website?
Um, there are only contests and projects on the website. The contests are design contests where you can specify a contest and say, hey, I need a logo design, and who can help me with that? Then the designers on our website will add designs to your contest, and you'll choose the best design in about 7 days. And at the project, we will match you with a freelancer, and we'll and you can chat with the freelancer via the live chat, and you can just ask one-on-one with the freelancer what they can do, and make a deal, and just go on from there. And with the design contest, you actually get designs in your contest to choose out.
Now, if I pick a design project, I make a deal with them. Obviously, you get 10% of that. I certainly understand that. Now, with a design contest, if I pick somebody, then when I choose that one, then do I pay 10% of only the one that I choose, or how does that work?
Well, just going to your site there, and everything we're talking about, it makes so much sense when you're actually at the site. But it seems like whenever you make a design, you put up prize money. It's, hey, make a design and you have a chance to win. If it's good enough, prize money.
Yeah, it's a prize money you pay up front, and with a design contest, our fee is 30% because we have a lot more work to lead the design contest and be sure all the designs are qualified and are from good quality. So it's a bit higher percentage there, but yeah, you just pay out the prize money. We'll keep the money safe until you have all the files you needed for all the design files, and just after that we will pay out the designer, and we will pay out the designer worldwide.
Okay. Well, hey, we might even do that for our logo and see if we can come up with something.
Yeah, we're always looking for new logos, and this sounds very, very cool. Like, if we could just put up, a certain prize and just have people, submit their ideas, that's much, much more efficient, for business to, be able to vet, 10, 15, 50, 100 different designs and having to go to, 100 different ones individually.
I'll have a better idea. I'll sponsor your design contest, and then in the next week or in the next 2 weeks, we're creating a design contest, and we'll show the logo on your show in a few weeks. So we're getting you a great new logo for.
That sounds awesome.
Sounds awesome. I think that's great, and Ben is going to take charge of this project.
Thanks, Craig.
and do this. I think it's a great idea, Roel. I think really do. Listen, I want to thank you so much for being with us here on today's show, and we'll be in touch with you to set up the concert.
For sure.
You can set it up, you can get it started, and then and you can work with Ben, and then we'll have you back on, and we'll talk about the winner and how all that worked out. Okay?
Yeah, we definitely do that. I like it.
All right, Rule. Listen, thank you so much for being with us here. Again, Rule Masalek, again at Crowdsite. Check them out at crowdsite.com, CROWDSITE.com, or go to computeramerica.com. We have a link to the Crowdsite website there as well at our homepage at computeramerica.com. Thank you so much for being with us here today, Rule.
Thank you for having me.
All right, take care. Have a good
Okay, take care.
Thanks again.
Thank you. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
All right, so there you go. Okay, it's called Crowdsite. Check it out, and we're going to do this logo contest with them, and we'll see how things transpire.
Let's see how the Europeans make a Computer America logo.
That's right. Okay. We have some time to do a couple of news stories if you like, so we should probably go ahead and do some news. Okay.
All right.
All right. Let's do some news. Today's computer and technology news is brought to you by Slimware Utilities, the official optimization software of Computer America. You can visit them at slimwareutilities.com to clean, speed up, and optimize your Windows system. Slimwareutilities.com.
Right. So, again, thank you for joining us for another computer news segment. And yeah, so there are a lot of great stories out today. And I think we're going to start with one that maybe isn't so great because not everything is sunshine and clear skies, because sometimes you get a massive, massive hurricane.
Mm-hmm.
And this is a hurricane actually hitting the coast of Mexico this afternoon.
All right. Okay.
Now, what's so special about this hurricane, Craig may be asking?
Yeah, what is so special about this hurricane?
This is the strongest hurricane ever in the Western Hemisphere.
Wow.
So, for anyone who lives in Florida, we are primarily based in Florida, so we've been through a number of hurricanes, and we've seen, the worst of the worst that has hit Florida. We've seen hurricanes up to 140 miles an hour, 160 miles an hour, and those are Category 5s. They're no joke. They will tear a house to shreds.
Mm-hmm.
And that's not a lot of fun. But this one puts all those hurricanes to shame. So this is from the U.S. National Hurricane Center, and this morning declared that Hurricane Patricia has become the most powerful storm ever tracked by the U.S. National Hurricane Center, with winds exceeding 200 miles an hour.
Oh my gosh.
And there we have a picture up there if you're watching our video. It's just a static image of what this thing looks like. But I mean, this thing is about the size of Mexico, and it is strong as all get out. It's crazy. And of course the NHC is calling it potentially catastrophic because this is again the most powerful hurricane hitting a place like Mexico where let's face it, very few places have even if this was hitting the U.S., even if this was hitting the U.S. in a place with, that mandated bunkers instead of houses,
mm-hmm.
I don't know a single hurricane code that measures up to 200 miles an hour. Like most hurricane-safe buildings only go up to Category 3, and anything beyond that, it's an act of God, and good luck to your house. This is Mexico getting hit with Category 5 plus, 200 miles an hour winds. Crazy stuff. So as of this morning, the hurricane was off the west coast of Mexico, heading north-northeast towards land. It's expected that the eye will reach land as a Category 5 storm. We're somewhere between Puerto Vallarta and Ixtapa sometime this afternoon. So currently the strongest winds are concentrated around the eye, of course. It's called the eye wall. And extremely strong winds cover a much larger area. However, and Patricia is expected to drive a large storm surge. In addition, areas in the hurricane's path are likely to receive as much as 20 inches of rain in the next day.
Wow.
It is a windy, wet, and unbelievably powerful hurricane.
Hmm.
And again, I just heard about this today. I'm surprised I hadn't heard about it earlier because 200 miles an hour wind. You'd think that would be making news.
Hello.
Yeah, you think it would, but exactly. Here's the thing. 200 mile. I mean, do you think this global warming is causing this?
Yeah, of course, don't want to get political or anything like that, but this is very obviously global warming, El Nino, that kind of effect. El Nino happens all the time, and of course, warmer waters means more powerful storms, and a nice cocktail, nice conditions of, hey, just spawning hurricanes. Now, of course, this is not the strongest ever hurricane/typhoon. There have been stronger typhoons that have hit Taiwan and the Philippines and things like that, but still, sorry folks that this isn't strictly technology related, but we still felt it was pressing enough that, hey, we would give you all a heads up.
All right. Well, now we've drawn your attention to it. You certainly can
keep an eye out because this may be the first time you're hearing about it, but it definitely won't be the last time because the devastation that's going to come out of this is going to be massive.
Right.
Massive.
All right, let's say we have time to do one more story here from Maximum PC, Paul Lilly. Microsoft delays the Edge extension support to 2016, and this delay could push users over the edge. Okay, even though Windows 10 is off to a fast start with over 110 million installs since launching at the end of July, users haven't been as quick to adopt Microsoft's Edge browser. Now, let me just ask you: are you still using Chrome, or have you tried the Edge browser? Or you're not swayed?
No, I've used the Edge browser. It's very, very nice, clean, all that kind of stuff. It's just it won't have traction, and I'm talking about everyone who's been using Chrome or Firefox. It won't have any traction until they implement add-ons, extensions, plugins, whatever you want to call it. Until they put those in, the people who have gone away to Chrome and Firefox aren't even going to take a second look.
Right. The interesting thing about it is the extensions ecosystem with Microsoft Edge it's going to be able to use all those Chrome extensions without having to be rewritten, which I think is an amazing feat. But anyway, according to the story, adding an extensions ecosystem might help, but we won't find out until sometime next year. And actually, a Microsoft spokesperson said in an email that the Edge team is actively working to develop a secure extension model and plans to share more about it in future Windows 10 update in 2016. Previously, Microsoft promised to support add-ons in Edge 2015, but that's no longer the case. Okay. Now, the spokeswoman also said that bringing extensions to Microsoft Edge continues to be a higher priority. That's as it should be if Microsoft hopes for Edge to gain any kind of significant market share in the browser market. Okay.
I said.
Yeah, extensions, plugins, they're extremely important. As it stands now, Edge barely registers a blip with a 2.4% share of the browser market, according to data by Net Applications. First place goes to Internet Explorer 11 with a 25.26% share, followed by Chrome and Internet Explorer 8.0 and Firefox 40. Okay, and on down the list. The good news for Microsoft is Edge continues to inch upwards, albeit slowly. Through the end of August, Edge sat at 2.03% share of the browser market. It's gone up 0.37% in 1.5 months. Not exactly cause for celebration, but it's better than remaining still, or even worse, losing share. So I think people are finding interest, but as you say, they've got to get the plugin supports and extension supports. And again, if they hold true to their promise, Ben, that they're going to use extensions and plugins that are designed for other browsers, and Edge will use those. They won't have to be specifically written for Edge. I think that's going to give Edge an enormous leg up.
Might just give them an edge. No, it will be nice, I think, not just for all the users out there of all the different extensions, because, hey, if it works natively, then they're going to go over, they're going to feel comfortable, they get to keep all of their add-ons. That's great. But it's also going to be great for all the companies who have these extensions, because then hey, they don't have to go back and rewrite the code. They don't have to go back and retrofit all of their programs to work with this new browser. It just works, and that would be really, really cool if they could manage it. But it's been a couple months since Windows 10 came out. They haven't yet.
Yeah. I've tried it myself. It looks really nice, but as I said, without the...
It really does. It looks nice. It feels nice. It browses beautifully. It's just, it's bare. There's nothing there because there are no extensions.
Yeah, exactly. Well, and now it's nothing until 2016, which is not that far away, but we're going to have to wait a little bit longer. I think once they do get them, I think...
it's not a sprint. Like, they don't have to get this done or else it's never going to take off. No, as soon as they get it right, it's going to start taking off. It's just, I'd rather it be sooner than later.
Yeah, well, that's true with everything, obviously. Okay, we all would rather have it sooner than later, but it's coming. So stick around and to see that. Okay, we're going to take a short top of the hour break, and then we're going to be welcoming our next guest from a company called Passwork, which simplifies and streamlines work with passwords in the company. In other words, employees will never ever lose passwords again, according to our guest, Ilya Garak, who is the founder and CTO, Chief Technical Officer of Passwork. He's going to be joining us right after this quick break. You're listening to the Computer America Show. We're coming to you live and at our new time, 3 to 5 p.m. Eastern Time, Monday through Friday. And also coming up in the hour is our social media winner of the week and another news tips bulletin review from Marty Winston. That's all coming up in the second hour of the Computer America Show. We will be right back. Don't go anywhere.
Broadcasting live. It's the only national radio talk show on computers to air every weeknight. Computer America. Hosted by national columnist Craig Crossman. The first hour's behind us, but there's still more of tech news, tech talk, and your phone calls. We're being beamed nationwide at ComputerAmerica.com. You got computer problems? Bring them on. You're listening to Computer America. Computers run the world, and we run computers. Call us or send us an email to live@ComputerAmerica.com.
Hello and welcome into Hour 2 of the nation's longest-running, nationally syndicated radio talk show on computers. This is the Computer America Show, and I'm your host, Craig Crossman.
And I'm your co-host, Ben.
And again, thank you to our guest from Crowdsite, and we will... Yeah, exactly, and we'll be again. We recommend that you check it out. Thanks to Ruda Masalik for being here on the show, and again,
Ruda
Masalik. If you missed any portion of it, you can listen to the archives of the Computer America Show. Just listen to archives. Go to our archive page at ComputerAmerica.com, and you can check them out for yourself. All right. Oh, yes, of course, we have our social media winner of the week for the Logitech Anywhere MX2.
Yeah, we'll do that sometime this hour.
We'll do that probably later on in the hour of the show as well. Again, if you have a comment or a question for our guest, give us a call at 347-884-8881. That's 347-884-8881. We'll get you on and get you through. Or if you want, you can go to any page at ComputerAmerica.com in the upper right-hand corner. Click the Submit a Question link, and it'll take you to a question submission page. Type in your question, hit the Submit button, and Ben and I will ask your question for you on your behalf. Okay? All right. Anything else before we move to our next guest?
No. I think we should just jump right into it.
Okay. Well, Passwork is the name of the company that we're going to be that we're introduced here. Passwork basically simplifies and streamlines work with passwords in a company. Employees will never lose passwords. They can securely store and share them. Company administrators manage and track password access. Passwork is like Dropbox for passwords. Users create groups and invite other users. Groups can have folders structured with stored passwords, and users can always see the relevant data in their groups. Now, here to explain is the founder and CTO of Passwork, Ilya Garak. Ilya, welcome into Computer America. How are you?
Yeah, hi, I'm doing well, thanks.
Hi, welcome to the show. Now, for our listeners, you're in Russia, is that correct?
Yeah, right.
Okay. Well, thank you so much for being with us. Is it early in the morning or late at night for you?
Late night for me, yeah.
Okay. So why don't you, I kind of introduced Passwork. Why don't you tell our listeners in your own words what Passwork is and what is it? What's it all about?
Well, how said Passwork is a password manager created especially for companies. Well, the general goal of Passwork is to reduce risk of password management and level up IT security within a company. So now, many companies used to store their passwords, PIN codes, and etc. critical information in appropriate places like plain text files, Excel files, to send them by mail, by Skype, etc. Well, and I'm pretty sure that any IT development studio faced the question like, where is the password for client's FTP server or some content management system? And I'm also sure that many people understand the risk of password management, but they understand, but they usually don't care and don't think about it until something's bad happened. So just try to imagine what can happen if, for example, a system administrator would compromise important company's password on an employee would forget or lose customer's password for his server. For example, how are you going to explain to your customer that you lose his password? So it can be a cause of serious problem and financial losses. Well, few words about history of Passwork. Passwork in its first version was solely internal product. It was created to cause our needs and problems in password management within our company. So we are a website and software development studio, and we have been working more than 7 years. And we faced all these issues when we needed to share password within our employees and, for example, receive password from our clients. So we began to look for any solutions, and of course we Googled different password managers, but they had, to my mind, two general problems. The first problems was trust, and more exactly, it was a problem of no trust, because it's easy if you have a big brand, if you're known, if you're well-known company like Google, so a lot of people will trust you by default. But in other cases, and you have to make your users trust you, and it's not easy.
No.
So, yeah. So, and that password manager that we found 2 years ago when we decided to find a solution, most of them even didn't have like about page on their websites, and we didn't know founders of the password managers, and it was really hard to believe them, to trust them, our passwords. So absence of trust, it was the first problem that we faced it. And the second problem, to my mind, was connected with terrible design and interfaces that we saw. Yeah, it really looked like it was developed by professional programmers, but not professional designers. And when you just got sign up, you just, wow, what is that? How to add a password? So it's looked very old, like from, I don't know, 90s. So that's why we decided to develop our own solution and implement there our all requirements to the password management system.
Yeah, that story really echoes what we've heard from a lot of other, companies that we interview here on the show. Is, we went out there, we saw the market, didn't like anything that was out there, and thought, hey, we can do this better, and hey, that's you guys in a nutshell. But of course, you're starting with you use this product for yourself. Like you designed this for how you would use it in a company, and then you said, others could really benefit from this as well. Do you think that approach, because there are a lot of people out there who kind of see a need and then they just kind of design how others would like it, but coming from, hey, this is how we would use it and how we would prefer it, do you think that adds something to Passwork's design?
Well, yeah, I understand the question. You're right, actually, and well, how I said it, it was implemented for our needs, and when it was ready, we began to use it, and we were pretty expressed how it was easy, and then we decided to show it to our colleagues, to our partners, to our acquaintances, companies, and most of them said that it was cool. That's why we decided to go to production, to go live, and published some articles in mass media, in Russian websites. So it was originally launched in Russia, so not over the world. So of course we got a lot of feedback. Most of them was negative.
Well,
so yeah.
Let me ask you this, and again, and please don't misunderstand me. I mean, I'm saying this in the nicest possible way, but Russia, there has been a reputation for bad things happening in the cyber world in Russia. And so the first thing I heard when I said, oh, this is a password protection and everything, and it's based out of Russia, well, my first reaction was, well, is that a good thing? So how do you deal with that? How do you overcome that?
In Craig's defense, the last time he had his credit card stolen, yeah.
We're just brave Russian guys.
Exactly.
No, I'm kidding. Yeah. Well, first of all our servers are hosted in USA in Microsoft Cloud. So, and despite the fact that we founders are located in Russia, I wouldn't say that Passwork is very Russian company, because we have a company registered in Europe for making our marketing efforts, because like you said, nobody used to trust Russia, and Russian security startup. Yeah, there's a big problem to have to promote the startup sitting in Russia. So, and the most funny thing that it's forbidden to develop software with cryptographic algorithm in Russia by Russian laws. So yeah, we are thinking about maybe to close Russian part for Russian and develop it for Europe and the USA and other countries, because it's pretty hard to deal with Russian laws about cryptographic.
Okay, I understand. So you're thinking about this? Have you done it, or what? Where does it stand right now? I guess is what I'm asking you, Ilya.
What do you mean?
Well, I mean, are you still?
Passwork is a fully functioning, ready to serve company all over the world.
Yeah.
Okay, and okay, go ahead. So it was created in Russia, but is now fully implemented worldwide.
Yeah, right.
Okay. So who's your target user?
Well, our target user are actually companies that deeply involved into the internet. Usually it's a story about modern companies, about companies that have like different project management tools hosted in into internet, like web system, etc. So, and we are targeted on IT development studios, on web studios, on internet design studios, internet advertisement studios, and of course IT startups is our target users, target companies.
Okay.
So, and of course, when you mean password management, are these passwords for, let's say you have a business and every user is going to have passwords to different services, or like, does this manage all the passwords internally within a company, or is this managing passwords for the company to external services, like maybe some kind of email client and things like that? Which passwords do you actually manage?
Well, for example, it's very convenient for SMM, people who used to promote some companies using social media like Twitter. So there are a lot of people, a lot of employees in a company, and they have to use just a single account, for example, in Facebook or Twitter.
Mm-hmm.
Usually, for example, in my company, we have a partner. It's a design studio, and we have projects. And for example, if we set up an FTP server, then in further development, we have to transfer this access to them, so they will be able to upload all files, etc., to that FTP.
All
So
right.
yeah, I know it's like like experienced system administrator would say that sharing passwords is a bad story, and
Right.
that ideal thing is to create different accounts, is to use like RSA keys, SSH, etc. So it's about like getting access without passwords. And that truth, but it's in ideal world. But believe in real life, and usually it's not possible to create different accounts for everybody, or it just can be very expensive.
Let me ask you this, and I want to talk more about Passwork, but there's some other things that I want, because you're in the business of passwords, and so you're going to have a good handle on this. So many things are changing. We're seeing a general shift or a move away from passwords. I mean, like Windows 10 now, they're using facial recognition, they're using biometrics, they're using fingerprints, as opposed to, or at least maybe
They're even using PIN numbers now.
PIN numbers or two-factor authentication. There seems to be a shift away from passwords. What can you give us some of your thoughts on all of these things that are the direction that this industry is taking?
Oh, it's hard to say. Actually, I have never thought about it.
Okay.
Well, maybe, but I can't give any forecast about it. I can predict. I'm pretty sure that all people will use password and like a lot of years.
All right. Okay. I was just kind of curious what your thoughts might have been on this. Now, where is Passwork hosted? Can it be hosted on a private server? Does it have to be your server? How does that work?
Yeah. Well, we have like a two version of Passwork. It's a website which you can see if you navigate passwork.me, and yeah, and you can store a password on website, etc. So, and the second version of Password is self-hosted, and to my mind, it's one of the amazing things we have in Password, because we realized that we have nothing to hide and decided to provide self-hosted version available even with open sources. So, but I want to mention that in our case, open source doesn't mean free. So anyway, you have to make a purchase before downloading open source. So yeah, Password can be delivered as open source or obfuscated code and set up on a private server, even without access to the internet. So it guarantees like 100% of security.
Okay.
Yeah, and self-hosted version is like what we have, and our competitors doesn't have it. So no company password managers that exist right now on the market. Nobody provides self-hosted version, especially open sources.
Really, really.
Yeah.
So you're kind of unique in that respect.
Yeah.
So you're saying that Passwork can get integrated into a company's infrastructure?
Yeah, right. It really can be integrated in the infrastructure using a so-called Passwork API. So it is a web-based REST-style API. So integration is available for any platform. Well, so at this moment, this API has just base functionality, but we are going to have all features available via the API. So everybody can develop its own client for Passwork and be sure that all data is encrypted on his side. So and Passwork stores already encrypted data, so we have no ability to decrypt it back on service. So we just like a store for already encrypted data.
Okay. So what does Passwork cost? You have two different versions, from what I can say here.
Well, yeah. Passwork membership is just $9 per year. So if you're going to use website version and you have, for example, 10 employees, so you need to pay $90 per year. Well, self-hosted version doesn't have a membership, but it's dependent on amount of active users. So price model is very flexible and depends on amount of users as well. Sure. So one user license starts approximately from $60 per user.
Okay. All right.
And of course, using something like this, there are all times where companies will, hire another person, lay off a person, someone. So if you want to deactivate a license or purchase another license, how easy is it to add or remove users from accounts?
Well, if you're talking about web-based version,
right?
So you just need to buy a coupon for annual usage. Yeah, you can do it right by now. If you're talking about self-hosted version, so self-hosted version, users of self-hosted version are much more prioritized for us. So we are going to work with them much more deeper. We are going to provide even some individual features for them. So it's story much more about B2B selling, and I'm pretty sure that all that moments can be solved via our dialogue.
All right. So tell us what you're working on now, and what some of the. I know you touched a little bit about some of the features coming up. Can you talk a little bit about that?
Well, yeah. Actually, we have a super big list of tasks in our development plan. Well, at this moment, our top scheduled issue is to recreate our Chrome plugin. So it's going to be much more better than we have now.
All right. And so can you talk about a couple of the features that we might expect from Passwork?
Oh, okay. Let me think. Yeah, no, it's.
Well, before you get into that, it shows here that you have an API, and this API, what does it allow you to do? Is it for companies to easily integrate it into their own systems, or what does the API for Passwork let you do?
You mean how it works?
Yeah. Right.
Well, yeah. Actually, just HTTP requests. It's pretty good descripted on our website. So it works really like REST protocol. Just so you just need to implement simple GET or POST request via the HTTP protocol. So I'm pretty sure all platforms like PHP, C#, like .NET, Java, etc. Everything has the ability to get integrated with our IP.
Okay. So it's
Yeah.
it's relatively easy to work with, is what you're saying?
Yeah.
Okay. Basically, I think we've talked about the general features. You can host it on your server. You can host it on a private server. You have different pricing available for it. Can you talk a little bit about the team that you're using, the Passwork team itself?
Can you repeat it?
How many people do you have working for you, and what are their backgrounds, and just who's helping you do? Because it seems like a pretty intricate idea. Who's your programming team, or just your team in this company?
Yeah, right. Well, how said, have been IT development studio more than 7 years, and so Passwork is a product of our company and our partner company. So we are IT developers, and our partners are professional designers. So they are professional designer studio. So we are both located in Russia, actually in a city called Arkhangelsk. It's actually it's pretty deep province. It's located on the north of Russia. Well, but we used to work with clients from the USA. We used to provide outsourcing services, outstaffing, etc. So, and that's why actually it's the answer on the question that was asked before about the design and why we're better, because we are a collaboration of two companies of IT professional and designers. So we have no problem with that.
Well, okay. Ilya, I want to thank you for being here on the show and telling us about Passwork. And again, you can check them out at their website at passwork.me. Or you can go to our website at computeramerica.com. We have the links to passwork.me there as well. Ilya, thank you so much for being with us on the show. And thank you. And best of luck to you. Okay. Take care. Bye-bye.
Bye.
All right. All right. So there you go.
Very cool service. If it's one of the services that if you need something like this, there probably aren't a lot of options out there.
I don't know. I'm still having difficulty with the fact it's based in Russia, because they have all this negativity.
What is it? One bad apple ruins the bunch, and it's kind of closed-minded to think that every Russian is trying to steal your credit card.
That's true. I know it's close
because just because there are people in Russia that will do that, but yeah, hey, they said that they realize that there is that stigma, and they're working to get it based in other countries and just get it out of Russia.
Yeah, exactly. Okay, so I think at this point, why don't we continue doing our computer and technology news?
All right, sounds good.
We have time to do one more story here, and then we'll continue out. And then when we come back, this story is interesting. This is from Popular Science. This is a synthesizer that lets you sniff and play flavors like music. Okay.
That sounds pretty okay.
Yeah, it's and this story is written by Nadia Bernstein. It says, "What do you get when you mix cheesy vomit with popcorn?" What when if you
cheesy
add
popcorn vomit? That's not even a hard question.
What about when you add hazelnut or coriander seed and a whiff of smoke? Why would I even want to know the answer to these questions? Well, evidently, starting on the 28th of October, you're going to have a chance to find out. At Flavor Making It and Faking It, the debut exhibit for the Museum of Food and Drink, Visitors can play.
Well, no, you missed it there. The debut for the exhibit from the Museum of Food and Drink's MoFad Lab.
Okay, MoFad Lab. Visitors can play these and other notes on the smell synthesizer, an interactive display that lets visitors explore the connections between chemicals and sensations. Now, there are a few precursors to the smell synthesizer. In 1902, the poet and bizarre gentleman, was it Sad? I can't even pronounce his name. Played a perfume concert at Carnegie Lyceum using electric fans and essential oils to transport his audience on a journey through the Far East. He was booed off the stage in less than 5 minutes. Okay. In 1922, issue of Science and Invention introduced the smell organ, a keyboard that plays scents corresponding to the musical scale. Okay. In 2013, the film Mood Indigo, based on Boris Vian's 1947 novel, the piano cocktail mixes up a drink to match the songs played on the piano. But the smells.
So obviously they're saying that there is a history of people trying to mix not just smells, but also taste and, of course, smells in with musical instruments, just trying to blend them in ways that people wouldn't normally do.
Albeit all of them pretty much unsuccessful. But the smell...
To varying degrees of success, yes.
The smell synthesizer at MoFad Labs is less like a Steinway and more like a Moog modular synthesizer. There's more to the story, but we're at the bottom of the hour, and we'll continue this when we come back, if you're so inclined. You're listening to the Computer America Show. Ben and I are doing Computer and Technology News, brought to you by Slimware Utilities, the official optimization software of Computer America. And coming back, our social media winner of the week. All that coming up in the last half hour of Computer America. Stay with us. Hi, this is Craig Crossman, host of the Computer America Show. You have important meetings to schedule. Your company's getting ready for its IPO, and you're in charge of the PTA fundraiser this month. So how do you coordinate everyone to be available at the same time? Are you still using emails, phone calls, even text messages to schedule meetings with a group of people? How's that working out for you? That's so great, huh? It's a fact that every day, millions of people suffer from scheduling headaches. Well, with Doodle, scheduling meetings with a group of people is quick and easy. With Doodle, you can easily propose available times to each member. Each one checks off the times that they're available, and then you simply pick the time that works best for the group, all in an easy-to-read display that integrates with your existing calendar. Nothing could be more simple. Give Doodle a try for free, and like millions of Doodle users, you'll truly see how easy it is to find the perfect date and time for all your meetings. That's www.doodle.com. Looking for a best friend? Brother Wolf Animal Rescue has your best friend waiting just for you. The mission of Brother Wolf Animal Rescue is to help build a sustainable, no-kill community where no dogs or cats are ever killed for population control, where true euthanasia is reserved only for animals who are irremediably suffering or for animals who are truly a threat to society and with no hope of rehabilitation. Brother Wolf staff and volunteers go door to door, neighborhood by neighborhood, to educate citizens about local resources available for at-risk pets and to help their families connect with those resources. Brother Wolf's community-based approach to no-kill helps keep family pets healthy, happy, and in their homes and out of the local shelter system in the first place. For more information or to make a tax-deductible donation to this wonderful 501c3 organization, visit their website at www.bwar.org. Help to realize Brother Wolf's vision when no animal is euthanized for lack of a home.
Who's a good boy?
Okay, I'll try not to blow it. Hi, Marty Winston with a News Tips Bulletin Review for Computer America. This time, the Panasonic Whisper Recessed LED Fan. Yes, it's like that ventilating fan over your shower. We got it in and noted several interesting attributes. Its light source is a bi-pin LED flood that produces 950 lumens of light on just 13 watts of power. The capacitor Scirocco fan blower is also energy thrifty and capable of an extended service life while also reducing the acoustic footprint of the fan. In other words, the existing ceiling fans in our current just 4-year-old house are 3 to 4 times noisier. So lower noise, lower power consumption, longer intervals before any repair or replacement concerns arise, and great airflow all come together. Bottom line, compared to the Panasonic Whisper recessed LED fan, any other fans we've ever had just suck, and noisily at that. Marty Winston with the News Tips Bulletin Review for Computer America.
Welcome back to the Computer America Show. We are here doing computer technology news after we just had our two guests on, Passwork and Crowdsite. I believe those are the two. Very, very interesting hours. You should go back, check out the archive, listen to them. And of course, we have all the relevant links and all that kind of stuff on our website. Go check that out. But before we get back to what is essentially smell-o-vision, I guess, we have a mouse to give away.
Yes, we do. Okay. This is for a social media contest winner. And that prize goes to David Heath. David Heath, congratulations. David listens to us in Taylorsville, Kentucky. Taylorsville, Kentucky. He wins the Logitech MX Anywhere 2 wireless mouse. It has the dark field technology, so it works on glass table surfaces, even your jeans. You can pair up to 3 computers and switch between them with the touch of a button thanks to its easy switch technology. Very nice mouse. Looks gorgeous. Valued $80. Again, David Heath, you're this week's social media winner. And again, head over to computeramerica.com. Check out our social media contest page. Enter. It's real simple. The instructions are right there. Just go ahead and do it. We could be calling your name next week. Okay, so Ben and I are doing computer and technology news brought to you by Slimware Utilities, and we're finishing up the story about the smell synthesizer. Okay. Now, basically, in the early stages of planning the exhibit, the MoFad team brainstormed possible ways to make the complexities of flavor comprehensible and interactive. Okay. Matter of fact, the author of this story was on the MoFad board, Nadia Bernstein's. So basically, you can print on-demand flavor strips where visitors could choose their own flavor. Chemical adventures. The cocktail technology wizard Dave Arnold, who is the museum's founder, came across a reference to the virtual aroma synthesizer. The whole team of people have been working on this thing. Bottom line is, you know, are they doing it just because they can do it?
No.
What's the purpose of doing this?
Well, yeah, they quote here the Dorito effect, and this is, of course, the Museum of Food and Drink. Food and drink is right now more of a science than an actual art, because, you know, when you think about all these big companies, multi-billion-dollar companies, Coke, Pepsi, Lay's, like whatever junk food you can possibly think of, things that have more chemicals than actual food in them, these are the kinds of things that they think about. These are things that they put billions of dollars into research and development for. It's how to make things taste a certain way.
Yeah.
And scent is a large part of that. Scent is 90% of what you taste. You know, that's why smokers who lose their ability to smell also lose their sense of taste.
Well, yeah. That goes. If you lose your sense of smell, you lose your sense of taste. They're intricately related. If matter of fact, if you just hold your nose, you'll notice that you can't.
Right. And it severely goes down. Like seriously, it's 90%.
Right.
So what this does is they have this machine that you can choose different smells from. And, you know, they have a picture here where they have, you know, smoky, maple, brown, cheesy, you know, something like alcohol smell to it. You mix these and you know, things like coconut, you mix these smells, and when you smell something, you're going to get a taste in your mouth. And it's a very simple experiment for people to walk up and press, okay, I want, you know, I want cinnamon, and I want smoky, and I want alcohol, and I want to mix these smells together and see what it smells like. And you inhale it, you get a taste for it, and you say, oh, well, you know, when you mix that, and that, you know, it works really well together. You mix this and this, it doesn't. Well, it's kind of like a science museum where it's a tool to show people just how powerful just very, very simple smells are.
But and I can understand that, but what I don't understand is why would you have a button that's cheesy vomit? Why would you want to smell that? You know?
Well, no, well, because it's a very distinct smell.
Okay.
You know, they're not going to have the 10,000 different chemicals that that the food and drug manufacturing companies have on hand to make, you know, like when you have a new Doritos chip, let's say Cool Ranch, you know, they're going to have, you know, a couple dozen different flavors that they're going to mix together to make just the right Cool Ranch flavor.
Yeah.
So, you know, hey, cheesy vomit, hey, maybe it won't work when you just use cheesy vomit, but when you use cheesy vomit plus cinnamon plus, you know, maybe fresh dough, hey, you know, maybe it comes out smelling pretty okay.
That's a pretty big maybe. But
this whole thing, again, is for a museum. It's a museum attraction.
I understand.
And it's something that they want to show people. Here's the effect that this has. And, you know, I think it fits really, really well with what the Museum of Food and Drink is going for.
Okay.
So, Craig, you ask, why would they do this?
Yeah.
It makes all the sense in the world to me.
Okay. Well, I'll let you push that button. I'll never push that one.
Oh, well, you know, maybe cheesy vomit I'll save till later, but, you know, a little bit of coconut, a little bit of maple brown, and maybe a little bit of smoky.
I'm okay.
Yeah.
I'm okay with those. Just the cheesy vomit, I just can't stomach. All right.
But again, you know, the article is much longer. You should definitely go check it out over at Popsite. It's very, very cool. And where did they say that this whole thing was going?
I didn't see. I already closed the story. I'm sorry.
Yeah, no. Let's see. Tickets are available online, and you can go find it at the Museum of Food and Drink. But here, let me actually show you here. Here we go, Brooklyn, New York. So if you're in the Brooklyn, New York area, go check it out.
Okay.
It's an art exhibit, so you know, be receptive. Unlike Craig, be receptive with your receptors.
Exactly. All right.
There we go. So. Continue on, and yeah, you know, hey, it's Friday.
Yeah, it is.
Just have fun with it.
Yeah.
All right. Well, here's the story that Craig doesn't have. So this is from BGR, and you know, Craig's always harping on, we never have new battery technology. We need more battery technology.
That's right.
Well, Samsung just came out with something on their own.
No.
So this is from, again, BGR's Zach Epstein, and Samsung unveils a new Stripe battery, representing a major breakthrough for mobile devices.
All right.
And again, we hear the term major breakthrough all the time, so you know, be skeptical. That's what we recommend.
Comes to batteries, I'm always skeptical.
Right. So advances continue in the realm of mobile devices and wearable gadgets, because mobile, you know, wearable devices that's certainly been booming lately. It's always come back to the same handful of barriers that impede progress. So, of course, chief among them, battery technology. So, component makers spend millions on research and development in an effort to make the most power-efficient parts possible, but the majority of smartphones still only last a day at most per charge. So, where wearables are concerned, these tiny devices come in a wide range of flexible shapes that often severely limit vendors' options when it comes to batteries and where to place them. Mm-hmm. Because, again, like take something like the Apple Watch. The only possible place you can put a battery in that whole thing is, of course, inside the actual, you know, container, inside the little square.
Right.
So, you know, if you could somehow figure out a way to put batteries, let's say in the watch band or, you know, just somewhere else, that would be a huge breakthrough. So, enter Samsung. And Samsung is known widely for their smartphone market. They have a huge they have a huge place of benefit if they do come out with new battery technology. So out comes the Stripe and Band, which are new Samsung batteries that are thin and flexible, allowing them to fit into spaces and components that would otherwise not house batteries. So the new batteries are still a prototype phase, but testing appears to be going quite well. According to Samsung, its new battery tech has the potential to increase battery life in some mobile devices by as much as 50%. Not bad.
No.
So also note these new flexible batteries are able to withstand 50,000 bends during Samsung's tests, suggesting durability will not be a concern. 50,000, not bad, not bad.
Yeah.
So yeah, Samsung band battery is designed to be housed in the flexible band of smartwatches or fitness trackers, though its application could certainly extend beyond those categories. So meanwhile, the strap battery can bend and conform freely as a fiber and is equipped with innovative energy density. A lot of words. Let's see what it means. The company continued that since it's adaptable to various forms such as necklace, hairbands, and t-shirt accessories, and more, it will in result fuel the growth of battery application market, including wearables. Now, if this somehow is a viable alternative to batteries, this could be the very beginnings of wearables in t-shirts and clothing.
Sure, because they're flexible, they're flat, obviously. Yeah.
So, if you have these bands, and let's say you have, not just one wrapping around the length of a shirt, but you have, maybe 5 or 6
or more,
all powering a shirt, and I wouldn't even know how to begin to charge these things. I'm sure they have to figure it out. But have 5 or 6 wrap around a shirt. You could start doing sensors inside shirts. You could start doing lighted displays on shirts. Maybe even shirts that change color. It's bendable batteries. There's definitely something you could do with them, and 50% increase battery life in smartwatches and wearables. That's definitely great. But hey, it's still in beta. Let's see if it ever comes to market, because we've seen it before. New battery revolution sweeping the nation, and then never comes to market.
Well, exactly.
It just happens.
Seems to see that always seems to be the case too. They have this amazing technology.
Hey guys, we figured it out. Everyone's problems. Don't worry about it. Wait 6 months, and then they either get bought out, dismantled, or it was not feasible, or something happens where you never hear from them again.
Well, moving right along from Paul Lilly and Maximum PC, evidently Razer opens the OSVR Hacker Development Kit pre-orders to general public. Let the frenzy begin. Razer is now accepting pre-orders from the general public for its open source virtual reality Hacker Developer Kit, a head-mounted display for virtual VR production, and this was announced today. This is the first VR headset from OSVR for use by general consumers and industry developers alike. It's already proving popular as Razer sold out of its first batch of units. The peripheral maker says it experienced overwhelming demand by over 10,000 pre-registered that were granted early access a full 24 hours prior to the public availability. Pre-order for the next batch of units is now available as production is stepped up to make more units available to meet demand. This is according to Razer. They first revealed its OSVR platform earlier this year at the Consumer Electronics Show in Vegas. Okay. The headset provides 360-degree positional tracking in combination with an IR camera operating at 100 hertz. Razer upgraded the newest build with a 5.5-inch full high-definition 1080p OLED display with support for low persistence, a technique that's supposed to reduce motion blur. Now, the pre-order pricing is set at $300 direct from Razer's, and the units will begin shipping November the 23rd. So if you want to be on the cutting edge of VR headsets, open source, virtual reality headsets, this might be something you'd be interested in. We thought we'd let you know about it.
Well, we kind of did let you know about it.
Yeah.
We had these guys on the show.
That's right.
We had them on the show talking about their product and what they hope to do and what virtual reality is. It was a very entertaining hour about the future of virtual reality. It's nice to see that, of course, they have partnered with Razer to get the product out to market. So it's nice to see that they finally are able to release one, and it's definitely cool that they are able to at least keep a similar track as as the Oculus Rift and a couple other virtual reality headsets, because hey, there was a limited release this holiday season, and it sounds like a lot of them are lining up to be released in the first half of 2016. So OSVR is going to be, thankfully, another option out there.
Yeah, exactly. Okay.
All right.
Do we have time for one more story? Maybe two.
Definitely two. So here's one that should get a lot of people mad. And we sing the praises of Tesla all over the show. They have a great car, they're a great company. Elon Musk does a lot of great stuff. And he makes really great cars because hey, they're electric cars that really broke the mold. Before then, electric cars were they were either hybrids, so of course, they ran on gas just like every other car, or strictly electric cars just didn't have any range. Like they could go maybe 100 miles and then they crapped out on you. Well, Tesla was really the first one to put in the infrastructure and to put out cars that could take you from coast to coast, all up and down the west and east coast, and really get you where you wanted to go in a fully electric and, let's just face it, very, very cool car. But now this may be a stickler for a lot of people, where Tesla and Elon Musk, they've always built everything in America.
Right.
They have battery factories here in America. They have car manufacturing factories here in America. It's all been American made. Well, out comes the story. This one from Engadget and Mr. Nathan Ingram about Tesla may build cars in China within the next 2 years. And I'm hoping that it's how I think, where they want to sell cars in China, so they're going to build them in China. It's not that they're moving their entire manufacturing operations to China and then ship them back to America. Get what I'm saying?
Yeah, exactly.
But let's go with the article and saying that Tesla primarily manufactures cars in California, but Elon Musk intends to change that. So Musk says that Tesla will start building autos in China as a way to offer its cars to the country at lower prices. He believes that a local production facility could cut the cost of Tesla cars by a third due to significantly reduced shipping costs and lack of import fees. So, of course, Musk's plans is easier said than done. China prevents foreign car makers from running manufacturing plants without a Chinese partner. So Tesla will need to buddy up in the country to make this plan work. So despite the challenges, there's a big incentive for Tesla to increase its operation in China. Nearly 20 million cars were sold in the country last year, making it the biggest auto market in the world. And China has been aggressively pushing lower emissions vehicles. So right now, Tesla carries a tremendous cost, with the base model, of course, starting at about $100,000. So significantly more than it costs for buyers here in the US. So China currently offers buyers big incentives for lower emission vehicles, but a local plant would still be a big help in cutting the cost of the Tesla in the country. So, I feel like this is a story that can easily be spun one way or the other, but it sounds like he wants to build cars in China so that he can sell them in China. Not that he can move all the manufacturing, all the battery manufacturing to China and then ship them back to America for, of course, the cost savings at the cost of U.S. jobs.
He's already committed to the U.S. and building that plant, the biggest. I mean, he's already made that commitment. This is just, he's looking forward to, future forward to possibly distributing, having his cars made in China for the Chinese, not in China and then bringing them back to the U.S. I don't think that would be that would be
bad.
Yeah, that would be bad. He's not talking about that.
No. So again, be careful when you hear the story. At the way the title makes it sound, and at first blush, it sounds like, oh no, Tesla, they've sold out. They're going to China. Boo, Tesla. But when you really think about it, they just want to get into a very large market, the largest auto market.
I don't begrudge him that. I think
it's a good business decision.
Yeah, it is. That makes sense. I think we have time to do another story here.
I think you do.
Yeah, Engadget story. BlackBerry's Priv. Remember the Priv or Priv or Priv, Priv? Again, it's going to cost us $699 for this phone. They've opened up pre-orders for its first.
Do you think it's Priv or do you think it's like Privy?
Privy. Could be Privy. Yeah. BlackBerry has opened up pre-orders for its first ever Android smartphone. The curved screen slider that's better known as the Priv or the Privy.
I like Privy. I'll be honest with you.
Privy. Okay. And this is by Daniel Cooper, by the way, from Engadget. The move comes just a day after the spec list was leaked on the company's website. Although the price was included in the listing, turned out to be a red herring. In fact, American BlackBerry fans will be able to pre-order the device for $699 starting from today, and delivery expected on November the 6th. Canadians, meanwhile, can plonk down $899 Canadian dollars to get the device in their home country, while the UK users are expected to stump up $850 to $7 for the same deal. Okay, so the Privy is on its way, and again, if you look at the phone, I mean, it's a nice looking phone. It slides. It has the keyboard at the bottom. It kind of slides out from the bottom, and it is a physical keyboard, which again is one of the I guess attractions for people who
really like. You think that the keyboard would be good and gone, but hey, you know, the diehard fans of the BlackBerry, they love that keyboard. That keyboard is their bread and butter, so they really want to keep it.
Yeah, I think it's the one thing, because everybody else pretty much has abandoned keyboards. It's all virtual keyboards now. They're on screen, even with haptic feedback, which you can get now on so many of them.
But it does have that curved screen, which I hadn't really seen before.
Yeah,
that is the double curved screen.
It looks a little bit like the Samsung Edge, Galaxy Edge, that has on the both sides. You have a little thin area on the side, which you can see. I actually held one of those the other day, just see what the big hubbub was about, and you don't get to see much on it. There's not much on the edge, but you can physically put the phone face down on the table and still see some information or color coming from the screen due to that curved screen.
You're not going to watch a movie on the Edge or anything.
No, you certainly aren't. Just
all right. Well, you know, that's great. Let's go from telephones to cell phones. We have time for one more story. I really want to get this one in. This one from Engadget, and this one, when I first heard about it, made my blood boil, because you don't often commiserate with prisoners. You know, with people who have broken the law, go to prison, and hey, it's pretty easy to say they're criminals. What do we care? They get whatever they deserve. They get. But I heard about this the other day, and it sounds like the FCC heard about it too, and they acted very, very swiftly. So the FCC has acted to reduce what it calls excessive rates and egregious fees of up to $14 a minute charged by federal and state prisons. The commission notes that while contact between inmates and families reduces recidivism, so high inmate calling rates have made that contact unaffordable for many families who often live in poverty. So it started in the action after receiving a petition from Washington, D.C. grandmother Martha Wright, who requested relief from the exorbitant rates she paid to call her grandson in prison. So as a result, it reduced average rates nearly in half to $1.65 for 15-minute long-distance calls, while eliminating most ancillary fees and capping the rest. As prison policy, they say that calls that used to cost $1 a minute now could be as low as 11 cents a minute. It also means that former inmates can start their lives after prison with a little more cash in their jeans. They said that 25 cents characters in 1989's Three Fugitives, 25 cents an hour, 6 hours a day, 5 days a week. That's $1,740. Not much for all that laundry. Huh, Lucas, which was, of course, from the movie. But that petition I'd actually seen people were charging, again, $14 a minute.
Well, they certainly had them over a barrel, you know.
Yeah, seriously. Like, if they wanted to talk to their kids, if they wanted to talk to their spouse, they had, like, there was no other choice. They had to, pay up.
Yeah.
$14 a minute. That's, let's say you have a 5-minute phone call, you're paying $70. I'm sorry, $70.
Yeah.
For a 5-minute phone call. And again, this had been going on for a decade or so. Just because they were prisons, what do we care?
Yeah.
Whatever. And it's great to see the FCC acting so quickly.
11 cents a minute, certainly a lot more in line with what in the, and it does reduce.
Still high, but much, much, much better.
It does reduce
90 seconds,
and certainly something that you would like to encourage. All right, well, that wraps up the show, and we're out of time. Listen, I want to thank you all for being here again with us. Again, thank you to Passwork and Crowdsite for being here with us in both hours. And again, you can listen to it again at our archives page at computeramerica.com.
Are you going to see the new Steve Jobs movie?
No, I'm not. Coming up on Monday, Michael Miller,
60 seconds,
author of over 150 books, is going to be here with us for both hours. Look forward to that, and we look forward to you joining us with Mike coming up on Monday. Hey, any good movies coming out yet?
The Martian is still in theaters.
Yeah,
definitely go check that one out if you haven't seen it.
Exactly, and of course,
and Steve Jobs just came out.
Hey, Supergirl, the TV show is coming up this week. Maybe I'll watch that.
That's it.
That looks pretty good. Anyway, have a great weekend, and Ben and I will see you same time, same station, and we'll see you here on Monday. So until Monday afternoon, this is Craig Crossman, hoping that your hard disk never becomes floppy. Have a great weekend.
Have a good one, everyone.
See you Monday.
10 seconds. Thank you for using Blog Talk Radio. Goodbye.
Okay, again, everybody, thanks for watching, and Ben and I will see you Monday afternoon. Take care. Bye-bye.
I like this review from Rotten Tomatoes on the new Paranormal Activity movie.
Yeah, what does it say?
One would have to trawl through the deepest recesses of Romanian art cinema to find a film with as many static, silent shots of empty rooms and unfurnished hallways. I like that. All right, have a good one, everyone.
Bye-bye.